that's about Brandon Aiyuk. That's Field Yates. And he thinks Field Yates believes that Brandon Aiyuk would be a great fit for the Patriots. I do agree with him on this. I'm not the biggest Brandon Aiyuk guy. I don't think he represents one of the 5 best receivers in the game or anything like that, but I like the player, and he would be such a massive upgrade for the Patriots at a position where I feel they sorely need it. I am all about this happening.
I agree with all of the reasons that Field Yates said it makes sense. You haven't talked about the price, though.
And, very expensive.
Yeah.
Both in draft capital and money.
Yeah. So for that reason, I'm out. And not because I don't think that...
Your money?
No. But
do you control the purse strings down there? In
it's more the draft pick than the money.
All right, not about the money.
It's probably a top 10 pick. I mean, let's be realistic. You want to give up a top 10, maybe even a top 5 pick?
No.
Okay.
Well, I think you've got to find a way around that.
So I like
you
Aiyuk
cannot give up your first round pick in 2025.
Okay,
you cannot do that.
Okay,
I would be against that.
So you're out too.
Well, I'm not sure that that's exactly what it will be. Let's say it's 2 2s. Would you do it for 2 2s?
Yes.
Okay, those are good picks.
Yeah, I don't think San Francisco would.
All right, well, that's different.
Right.
I actually think
I'm trying to make the deal.
I think it's going to be.
I'm not trying to make the deal on my parameters.
I think whether or not he gets dealt is more about how much of a headache he causes for them. Like I don't know that he's got that in him. I don't. By all accounts, he's like good teammate, good player, professional. It's usually the crazy guys that can force their way out. Stephon Diggs got himself out of Minnesota.
Yep.
He was like, nope.
And Buffalo.
I'm done. And he got himself out of there, and he did it again in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Brandon Aiyuk has that in him.
I don't know enough about Brandon Aiyuk's personality other than what I've heard, and you're right. That's his reputation is not that. And you said he's not a top 5 receiver. I would agree with that, but he's probably top 10.
I would agree with that.
It's probably, he's a very good player, and I think he is getting better. Like I said, all the things that Field Yates said about growing with Drake May, it makes all the sense in the world. If I were the Patriots, I would probably err on the side of San Francisco's probably going to figure out a way to keep him for the year. Now, if it's not keep him with an extension and he doesn't cause that headache that you're talking about, I'm all in on him. Come March 14th next year, whatever the new league year starts, and this is where you're going to go. It ain't my money. Absolutely, $30 million a year, or whatever. That's where he's going to go. He's going to get up in that area. Justin Jefferson's 35, I think. So that's what you're looking at, 30 plus million a year.
It's called 32.
I'm all in.
Okay, so am I.
And I think the timing works better because now you're bringing him in with Drake May. Presumably has, he's gotten his feet wet a little bit this year, and he's going to go into his first full year as the starter next year. Yeah, I'm all in. I think that makes all the sense in the world.
Would you give up the 2026 first rounder?
Yeah, again, I'm not sure San Francisco would. I would also be willing to say, like, what I would be going at with San Francisco is, take my second rounder. It's probably going to be in 40th. The 30s.
At worst, it's like a 40th round pick.
It's probably going to be in the 30s somewhere, and and live with that. Now, that all it takes is one, because I look at it as if I'm, a Kansas City or, another really good team, why wouldn't you be doing that?
Okay, but here's a couple of things here. Number one, Bert thinks they're going to pay him. We're talking to Bert Breer on TV last night.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
He said he's not going anywhere because they have all the plans to pay him. They just don't want to do it right now. They want to get to the end of this season, and they want to see where they're at with paying Brock Purdy and figuring out who they're paying. He said, but this guy is firmly in their plans, and Deebo Samuel is not.
Right.
So that, to me, was interesting because that tells you, they're just stringing this along. They think the guy's going to show up. They know he's a good dude. He's not going to shoot his way out of there, and then they're going to pay him at the end of the year, which means they don't want to trade him, and they're being sincere.
I think that's accurate. I totally agree with Bert. And if you look at San Francisco, I know we're the Patriots, but they have unbelievable weapons. They have Kittle, they have McCaffrey, they have Deebo, they have Aiyuk. Aiyuk is really the one commodity. He's the one young guy with no injury history. Kittle's getting a little bit longer in the tooth. McCaffrey and Deebo are always sort of
banged up. Yeah,
banged up, and they've taken a lot of pounding, a lot of wear and tear on the body. Now McCaffrey was pretty healthy last year, but he's missed a lot of time, in his career. He gets a lot of touches. Same with Deebo. I'm not sure you can let Aiyuk walk. I'm sure that's why they drafted Pearsall in the first round, to get a guy for Debo insurance, because they're going to probably walk away from him. I agree with Bert's analysis there wholeheartedly.
So there's that element, number one. He doesn't think he's actually going to get moved. But number two is the 49ers are not going to engage, if they do engage with any teams about trading Aiyuk, with teams that they could see in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or in the NFC.
So
that they could see in the playoffs. So if you're looking for teams they might be willing to talk to, unfortunately and fortunately, the Patriots would be in that group. Unfortunately, they're so bad that no one views them as a threat. And fortunately, that's why you might be able to land a player, whether it be Aiyuk or anybody else in this league.
Yeah, one of the reports that kind of troubled me about Aiyuk and the whole his willingness, he wants to go to Washington because of his relationship with Jaden Daniels. I don't like that. Why do you want that? Why do you want to go to a rebuild? You're on a Super Bowl ready team, and over money you want to go and play with your friend?
No, I think over money he wants to go play for money, and he knows that that's.
But he can get the. We know he can get the money in San Francisco. He wants more to go play with his friend.
You know that his fear is that he's going to get tagged at the end of the year. That's got to be his fear. That's what every player's fear is at that point in the deal.
But that's an easy.
They want the extension. They want the guarantees. They want the big deal.
But that's an easy out. You give him a little bump right now and an assurance that you won't use the tag. That would be an easy out, right?
Yeah, no, they could do that. That is a possibility.
Now, and that's assuming San Francisco wants him. Right. Yeah, and I agree, again, with Bert that I think that they do, and I know all of these guys, and Field Yates said the same thing at the end of his thing. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think you listen to these national guys, they all seem to say the same thing.
I think this is what he wants, Paul. He wants to be paid today, and he's trying to go to a team that he thinks, if he gets traded, he's getting paid today.
Yep.
So I think he's just out there when he did that. I really don't. I think you're reading too much into it.
All right.
I think that's why he's talking like that, because, I got a connection there. Yeah, I'll get on this what is it, Zoom call? What was he on? The FaceTime, whatever he got recorded on.
Yeah, when we yes.
Watching the film of Daniels,
whatever he was on.
A clip of Daniels and OTAs.
Yeah. It's like, well, I'll talk about any team I think I might be able to get traded to, because any team I get traded to is going to give me that big contract I want this week.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I just thought it was odd that he was so willing to say, like, Washington is my desired destination, because I don't think Washington would be all that good.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.